This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Scott Dennis has the night off. Thanks for joining us. Our top story this evening, the fight against poverty in Manatee County. In 2012, the county outlined a 5-year plan on how to help families who are struggling. The plan is required because the county receives federal funding. While some progress has been made to address housing, public services, and other needs, as ABC7's Kate Flexter tells us, there is still much more to be done. Kate.
Haley, 5 years ago, Manatee County set certain goals to address the needs of low-income residents. 5 years later, some of those goals have been met while others are still outstanding.
For 5 years, Manatee County has focused on the fight against poverty, receiving federal grant funding for certain local nonprofits. Among them is Centerstone Addiction Treatment, which received $140,000 over the course of 2 years. Chief Clinical Officer Melissa Larkin-Skinner says the vast majority of people they help are low to moderate income individuals.
Most of them would be designated as indigent by the federal government.
Centerstone uses the grant money to help recovering addicts get housing. They say having that stability is crucial.
If somebody's worried about where they're going to sleep tonight or tomorrow night or when their next meal is, how are they really going to engage in any kind of counseling or seeing the doctor here? That's not what's going to be important.
Another goal set out by the county was to address child care for low to moderate income households.
So there's a definite need in Manatee County, as well as, there's a definite need across the state.
The Early Learning Coalition of Manatee County doesn't receive money from that specific grant, but they're making strides in addressing that need. In 2011, their average wait list was more than 1,200 children. In 2015, that was down to 963.
Families struggle just to make ends meet month to month. And so any assistance that we can provide them for child care funding frees up dollars that they may need for housing and putting food on the table, paying their utilities.
At Manatee County's Salvation Army, though, they haven't seen that same progress. Their system is overwhelmed, and they say 50% of people locally are living in poverty.
The alarming thing is it doesn't seem to be improving.
Major Dwayne Durham says there's no one solution to the problem, but says a lack of affordable housing seems to be at the core of the larger issue.
Rents may go up, but incomes may not. And so there has to be a multifaceted approach to the problem of attainable, affordable housing in our communities.
Moving forward, Manatee County is working on the next 5-year plan and is open to public input. Haley?
Thank you, Kate. 2 Manatee County men are behind bars this evening, accused of sexually assaulting several mentally challenged victims. Jeremiah Domsgaard and his boyfriend David McKinnon were arrested on multiple counts of lewd and lascivious molestation, as well as lewd and lascivious battery. McKinnon worked for the state as a caregiver and a life coach for those with special needs. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies say both men took advantage of several adult males and a minor.
There's no consent if you have diminished mental capacity, and that's what these individuals are classified, special needs. So again, they were getting assistance from the state, and at the same time, the person who was offering that assistance was sexually assaulting them.
McKinnon has been working with special needs individuals for about 12 years, so deputies suspect there could be more victims. They're asking anyone with information to come forward. Additional charges are also pending for potential fraudulent acts discovered during this investigation. A scare today for some people living at the Strathmore Villas in Sarasota. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies and hazmat personnel responded to a call about a suspicious device on River Bluff Parkway around 9 o'clock this morning. Authorities quickly determined it was actually several plastic and glass bottles containing screws and liquid. The scene was cleared and no one was injured. There are plenty of new hangout spots for dogs on the Suncoast. Today, Sarasota County Commissioners approved a resolution that designates 71 parks and preserves in North and South County as dog friendly. Sarasota County Code still prohibits dogs, cats, and other pets in county-owned parks, but now certain areas can be specifically designated for activities involving animals, including dogs. Dog owners will still have to follow some rules when visiting these dog-friendly areas. All dogs must be kept on a leash and under physical control of a person at all times. All dog owners must properly dispose of waste, and dogs are not allowed in areas that are not designated for dogs on leashes. The need for more dog-friendly parks was identified in the county's 2016 Parks, Preserves, and Recreation Strategic Master Plan. The dog-friendly designation will take effect on January 1st. In Manatee County, it will soon cost more money to enjoy the GT Bray Recreation Center. Today, county commissioners approved raising membership fees by $5. Starting April 1st, it will cost $25 a month for a membership and $90 for families. The center says the increase will allow them to hire more staff. And now we're going to head over to Bob. And Bob, this fog is starting to roll in again.
Yeah, it is, and it's getting thick in some areas. Now, this was 7 o'clock this morning at the Cortez Bridge. Lots of fog around the entire Suncoast. Dense fog advisory. It lifted for a short time. It came back for a little while, and then a lot of sunshine after noon, and then notice what's happened lately. At 5:05, this is a shot of what's been going on over just the last few minutes. Heavy fog, again, rolling in across parts of the Suncoast. Now, as far as the fog forecast goes, it's going to be a little sooner, as we're seeing right now, and it would be thick, and looks like dense fog advisories will be issued pretty early this evening and continue all the way through Wednesday morning. So it'll be rather thick out there. It should burn off again, and we'll see another nice day for us on Wednesday. Now, as far as the visible satellite imagery goes, there's still some sea fog out there, too. You'll notice that it is now moving on shore near Anna Maria. You can't see it now. It's a visible satellite imagery that can see the fog at times. And again, you can see that just kind of rolling in along Longboat Key as well as now into Sarasota. You see that big bank of fog just offshore of Lido and Siesta Key as well. 72 right now, dew point way up there. These two numbers getting close to one another. West winds at 7 and the pressure 30.04 inches. And the front that will eventually change this fog pattern is still well to the north of us. Well, more on that front and what it means for us coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. A federal judge is being asked to block additional parts of a contentious abortion law in Florida. The American Civil Liberties Union of Florida has filed a lawsuit on behalf of several ministers, rabbis, and organizations that provide abortion counseling services to women. It states the law violates constitutional rights by requiring groups to register with the state and pay a fee if they help women seek abortions. It also challenges a provision requiring groups to tell women about alternatives. A federal judge has already blocked 2 parts of this law, including a requirement to increase abortion clinic inspections. A Florida Senate panel exploring some issues surrounding medical marijuana as lawmakers get ready to implement Amendment 2. One of the biggest issues facing the legislature is whether to expand the number of businesses authorized to grow, process, and distribute marijuana to an estimated 500,000 patients who would be eligible for the treatment when the amendment goes into effect in January. Law enforcement officials and opponents want lawmakers to consider imposing restrictions on the kinds of products that can be sold, including candy. They also want local governments to be able to regulate certain things like zoning and signage. State Senator Dana Young says the legislature needs to make these decisions quickly.
The voters have spoken, and it is our duty as their elected representatives to implement this amendment appropriately.
The Florida Department of Health has issued licenses to 6 dispensing organizations and could issue 3 more once the number of patients in a statewide registry reaches 250,000. Late this afternoon, Manatee County Commissioners approved a 6-month moratorium on medical marijuana processing facilities and dispensaries so that they will have some time to consider regulations. The Bradenton City Council is expected to make a decision on its proposed 6-month moratorium tomorrow. And now ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, this incredible beat goes on once again. More new records on Wall Street.
Haley, it truly is incredible. We're looking now only 89 points from Dow, 20,000. Think about that, 89 points from 20,000. The Dow has been up 7 days in a row, 7 records in a row. The S&P and the NASDAQ have been up 6 of the past 7 days. And today, of course, all 3 of them finished at record highs. The high of the day today for the Dow was plus 160. We didn't close at that number, but we did finish with a triple-digit gain again. Let's take a look at the figures, and very attractive they are. There you see the Dow up 115.6% at 19,911.21. That on volume of 744 million shares. The NASDAQ was the biggest gainer of the day, up almost 1%, more than 51 points, closing at 5,463.83. That on volume of 1,801 million shares. And the S&P records across the board up almost 15 points, more than 0.6% at 2,271.7 too. Well, Google has been experimenting with self-driving cars now for 7 years, and today Google came out and said they are so pleased with the progress, they are now creating a separate entity within Google called Waymo. Yes, Waymo, W-A-Y-M-O. Don't ask me where that name came from, but the company said that they are very pleased with what's been going on. They actually have driven more than 2 million miles of self-directed driving without having any major incidents and simulated 2 billion miles of driving, and the company does believe it won't be terribly long before they're in business. So let's hear it for Waymo. Don't know where it came from, but Haley, it sounds very interesting.
Definitely does. And Richard, what are the chances that the Fed will increase interest rates tomorrow?
Haley, I hate to go out on a limb and say 100%, but I think 100%, a 1/4 of a rate increase, first time in a year, only the second time in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it seems like almost every time that you come on, Richard, you say, oh, most likely this won't happen. But so we shall see tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Still to come on your Suncoast News, a government warning about a popular kitchen item, why millions of food processors are now being recalled. And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, later in Health Smart, a downside to pursuing a medical career, the condition that's fairly common among med students.
A poodle butter dish. I'll use this. A chicken purse. It's so artsy. You're really good at giving gifts.
This holiday, give the perfect gift.
Perfect.
Flowers, always the perfect gift. Beniva Flowers and Gifts, exceeding your expectations.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting loose salon.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
If you have visited a Quest Diagnostics center on the Suncoast recently, your personal health information may have been compromised. Quest Diagnostics says an unauthorized third party gained access to information for 34,000 patients last month. This includes names, birthdays, lab results, and telephone numbers. Quest says it is working with a cybersecurity firm and law enforcement to investigate the breach. It has notified affected customers by mail. If you have any questions, you can call the number on your screen at 888-320-9970. Now to a major recall involving a kitchen staple found in millions of homes. Conair, the maker of Cuisinart, and the government are issuing a recall of more than 8 million Cuisinart food processors. Some older metal blades on the processors can break apart and send small metal pieces into your food. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is asking consumers to immediately stop using these processors that have blades with 4 rivets and a beige plastic center hub. So far, there are 69 reports of these broken blades and 30 reports of mouth or tooth injuries.
We've seen dozens of examples of serious cuts to the mouth and damage to people's teeth. I think the injuries have come to light more recently. It goes back 20 years, and as I mentioned, we have one of these, and it's probably more on the 20-year-old side, and so we don't want consumers to be complacent.
22 models are being recalled. To see if you own one of them, check the CPSC website. And there's a pretty good chance you do if you have a food processor, because these are extremely popular.
I just used it Sunday. I have to check it and make sure.
I've never used a food processor in my life, but
right?
my husband has. So.
I was using it to make a glob, actually, for Emma. Actually,
What's that? Like stuff you play with? Kind of
yeah,
like
you like to throw it. It's glue and shaving cream and all sorts of stuff. And dish soap. Yeah, it's all kind of mixed together.
Making some glob.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. A big blob. Well, speaking of a blob, look at this. This is a sea fog. Now with our live camera looking out over the bay, and you can see that bank of fog getting ready to move on shore. It already has in some areas along the Suncoast, out on the islands, getting some heavy fog right now. And lots of accidents this morning up and down west central Florida. Some of that due to the reduced visibilities. We're talking visibilities down to less than a quarter of a mile, sometimes zero. And that is a big problem. So if you're driving in this fog, slow down. Don't use your brights. Roll your windows down. Turn the radio off so that you can hear things a lot better out ahead of you. Again, if you pull off the road, make sure you turn your hazards on. Don't leave your hazards on while you're driving. A lot of important keys. Driving through fog, one of the most dangerous things to do as far as weather-related accidents go. Fog is the most dangerous. Let's get a look at what's going on right now. Anna Maria webcam since 2 o'clock. Well, the sunshine came out for a little while, and then look what happened. Just recently, the fog rolls on in at Anna Maria, so this could be an issue with the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, considering Anna Maria not too far away, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Viewer photos last night, beautiful sunset last night sent in, but I tell you, we're not going to have as good one tonight due to that fog bank. Now, things will change a little bit because of this front. We're going to see this front move through, and that will bring in a little drier air. Dew points will lower, and that will keep the fog away, I think, once we move through Thursday and into the weekend. But more dangerous fog around tomorrow. Weak cold front slides through on Thursday, but it is a quick turnaround. We'll warm back up very quickly. By the weekend, we'll go back above average. Rainfall fairly heavy now, approaching Pensacola, and looks like into southeastern portions of Alabama tonight, spreading off toward Georgia. The rain associated with it is not going to make it all the way down here. We're going to see maybe a few isolated showers come Thursday. That rain chance very small at this point, but inland areas could see a few sprinkles. Currently, it's 72 degrees. We have clear skies overhead. Dew point at 68, humidity at 87%, winds are out of the west at 7, the pressure 30.04 inches, and that is slowly falling. 65, the temperature right now, dew point temperature in Tallahassee, 59 in Jacksonville. Our dew point is at 68. Our actual temperature now into the low 70s. Once those two meet, we'll even get inland fogs. Now, we're getting that sea fog right now rolling in, but inland fog will also be an issue. Currently, temperatures in the low 80s where they had a little bit more sunshine today away from that west wind. You can see 70 in Cortez, 72 in Sarasota, but it's 10 degrees warmer in Sebring, 83 in Avon Park, 78 in Punta Gorda, and the Gulf temperature now at 71. So it's actually warmed up a degree or two. Highs tomorrow will be a little bit cooler, but mid-70s here near the coast because of the fog around, so it will delay the warm-up as a result of the fog being in place. And elsewhere across the U.S., there's a little snowstorm moving through Ohio right now, just a dusting of snow spreading off toward Pennsylvania and New York tonight. But the big story is the extreme cold that's happening behind this cold front. And get a look at the temperatures right now. Minneapolis at 5, Chicago here at 12 degrees, Detroit at 26. This is all spreading off toward the east mainly. It's not heading down here anytime soon. Fog again tomorrow, and northwest winds at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet, less than 2 feet for the most part. The water temperature at 71, and the beaches will see a high of 75. Tides upcoming 10:16 for the next high tide. Sunset at 5:38. More fog, mostly fair above it. 63 for a low, and we'll have light winds. And then for tomorrow, expect that morning fog to be around for a while. Say 10 o'clock, maybe even later in some areas. 76 for a high, and the extended forecast does call for a chance for showers, but not much. Again, on Thursday, it's 20% or less, and then Monday and Tuesday, a slight chance for showers. But notice those temperatures warming up into the low 80s both on Saturday and Sunday. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but traffic is backed up on I-75 in the northbound lanes near Fruitville Road. In health news tonight, a handful of nuts could cut your risk for heart disease, cancer, and premature death. A new study by Imperial College London found people who ate at least 20 grams of nuts daily lowered their chances for heart disease by 30%, cancer by 15%, and premature death by 22%. Nuts and peanuts are high in fiber, magnesium, and polyunsaturated fats. Those nutrients may reduce cholesterol levels and help cut your cardiovascular disease risk. And some nuts are also high in antioxidants, which can fight stress and possibly reduce cancer risk. Medical students are 5 times more likely to have depression compared to the general population. An analysis of nearly 200 studies was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. It found 27% of med students experience depression or depression symptoms, and more than 1 in 10 report suicidal thoughts. The study doesn't explain why this may be the case, but it could be based on multiple factors, including long hours, competitive atmosphere, rigorous course load, and lack of sleep. A surge in the U.S. infants born with symptoms of withdrawal from heroin or prescription painkillers. It's being driven by rising drug use among women in rural areas. The study, led by the University of Michigan, estimates that about 21% of newborns in rural counties had withdrawal symptoms in 2013, up from 13% in 2004. Rates were up in urban areas as well, but not by as much. Newborns whose mothers use these drugs during pregnancy are at risk for seizures, problems with breathing, sleeping, and feeding, and other withdrawal symptoms. Coming up next, a passenger is kicked off of a Delta flight. What escalated this situation? Plus, how Dolly Parton and other country music stars are using their talent to help the victims of the Tennessee wildfire.
ABC7 News at 7 weeknights.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters, and proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue, local Pitmasters since '68.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called 3-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Detoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Kick off the season and find a unique holiday gift at the St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Over 100 artists and thousands of works of contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 3rd annual St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Saturday and Sunday, December 17 and 18th at South Straw Park in St. Petersburg. Bring your sense of discovery and appreciation of the beautiful at the St. Pete Holiday of the Arts. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
A disturbing scuffle aboard a Delta Airlines flight is caught on camera. Passengers watched yesterday as a woman was dragged off of the plane by airport police officers in Detroit. According to police, the woman would not comply with boarding and baggage check procedures. And when officers arrived, Delta said the woman could not stay on board. But when she was asked to get up from her seat, she refused, and officers ended up dragging her off. The woman was arrested and later released, but there could be some formal charges. An update tonight on the wildfires in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We're now learning the flames have caused more than $500 million in damage. The fire destroyed more than 2,400 buildings, including 2,100 homes. The wildfire also proved fatal to those trying to escape the heat.
We have confirmed that there have been 14 fatalities. 12 of those fatalities are directly related to the firestorm that we had. 2 are indirectly related in that they occurred in folks fleeing the scene.
Officials say that the high winds made it very difficult to control the fire, and there was no way to get the upper hand on it until it reached the Gatlinburg area. A country music legend is stepping up to help victims of the recent wildfires in Tennessee. Dolly Parton from Sevier County, that's where at least 13 people were killed and thousands of homes and businesses were damaged or destroyed when multiple wildfires swept through the Gatlinburg area. Parton, along with Reba McEntire, Kenny Rogers, Allison Krauss, and others, will perform in a telethon tonight. The 3-hour event will be called Smoky Mountains Rise, a benefit for the My People Fund. It will air on Great American Country. In lighter and cuter news, what's more adorable than a meerkat? Well, a whole litter of them, of course. An Australian zoo is welcoming its largest batch of the animals to date. Meerkats normally give birth to 3 or 4 pups, but this meerkat had 6. The pups were born last month. Names for them have not been chosen just yet, but they're squiggly and squirmy. Look at that, how cute. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a tanker truck accident that tied up traffic for hours. State troopers released new information on this overnight I-75 crash that caused a headache for drivers all across the Suncoast. That story is coming up next.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, Cruise for Cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day Rockin' and Ridin' at the Ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbythebay.org.
You've seen me roll for 100 G's, but I got a little more than dough riding on this one. They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. And so the best that I can do is prayer. Luck be a lady tonight.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.